Learning about different parts of a camera will help you understand how they affect image quality, and you can improve your photography skills faster. This knowledge will help you select a camera that suits your needs, perform maintenance, and, in some cases, fix possible issues. This information will be especially useful for beginners who are just starting to use their cameras. Welcome to WeGotMedia. We are a multimedia agency that offers professional services and training in all areas of digital media such as graphic design, video production, audio production, and digital marketing. This channel is dedicated in providing free informational tips and easy tutorials on how to make digital content using various software in the digital media space. The 5 basic parts of all cameras are the camera body, lens, sensor, shutter, and aperture. Together, these make up the most basic components of any camera. Number 1. Camera body. The camera body is what houses all the internal components of the camera. The easiest way to think of the camera body is everything except the lens. Camera bodies can come in a wide array of shapes, sizes, and weights depending on the brand and purpose of the camera. For example, an action camera or compact camera could fit in your pocket. Number 2. Lens. A lens is a barrel-shaped object that extends from your camera body. It's filled with a series of glass elements that bend and focus light onto your sensor. Without a lens, you wouldn't be able to capture anything with your camera. It's what allows your camera to deal with incoming light and control the exposure of your photo. There are many different types of lenses, and some lend better to certain types of photography. The main lens most beginners use is called a kit lens since it comes with a camera. Number 3. Viewfinder. The viewfinder is a little window on your camera body that you can look through to frame your photo. By allowing you to see through your lens, you can get a good idea of how your photo will look before you take it. On DSLR cameras, the viewfinder uses a series of mirrors to help you see what your lens sees. Number 4. Sensor. The sensor is the single most important part of a camera since it's responsible for recording light. You can find it in the middle of your camera body, directly behind the lens, as a small rectangle shape. The sensor records incoming light and turns it into an image to later save onto your memory card. Number 5. Shutter. The shutter is another vital part of a camera. It controls the time duration for which the image sensor is exposed to the light. Most digital cameras come with a combination of electronic and mechanical shutters or mechanical alone. All digital cameras are designed for a specific shutter life, also known as the camera shutter count. The reliable shutter operation is guaranteed only up to this value. Number 6. Aperture. The aperture is a donut-shaped ring inside of your lens that can expand or contract depending on the f-stop setting. The aperture not only controls the brightness of your photos but also your depth of field. If you want to have a blurry background behind your subject, using a wider aperture will help you achieve that. Number 7. Playback button. After you take a picture, you can review it with the playback button. Across Canon, Sony, and Nikon cameras, the icon is the same green box with the play button inside. By pressing the playback button, you can look at your most recent photos or browse other media that's saved on your memory card. Number 8. Shutter release button. The shutter release is the button you press to take a picture. When you press this button, you send a signal to open the shutter based on your preset shutter speed. The shutter will then open and close, allowing light to reach your sensor and record an image onto your memory card or film. Choosing your shutter speed depends on if you want to freeze motion or capture a long exposure. The correct settings will change. Number 9. LCD screen. The LCD is the screen on the back of all digital cameras. This screen can display everything from your current camera settings to your recently captured photos and video. In recent years, the LCD has become increasingly popular for live view. On many cameras, the LCD screen is fixed in place, while others will have a flip-out screen. Especially when you're shooting at awkward angles or close to the ground, swivel screens make all the difference. Number 10. Hot shoe. The hot shoe is a metal bracket found on top of most DSLR and mirrorless cameras. It's used to mount and connect external devices such as a flash or flash remote directly to your camera. With small sensors at the bottom of this bracket, your camera can send signals to your external accessories mounted to the hot shoe. In some cases, a camera will have what's known as a cold shoe, which allows you to mount accessories without transmitting a signal to them. Number 11. Lens hood. A lens hood is a removable plastic ring that can extend from the front of certain lenses. It's used to help shield your lens from flaring and also serve as protection from an accidental bump. Not all lenses will have a lens hood available, particularly so with compact cameras or wide-angle lenses. Number 12. Flash. Some digital cameras will have a flash built into the top of the camera body. By engaging the flash settings on your camera, it will pop up and be active when you press the shutter release. A flash is an easy way to get more light into your scene, especially when shooting in low light. The problem is that on-camera flashes don't always create the most flattering images. Number 13. Flange. The flange is the bracket hole that connects your lens to the camera body. This is only something you'll find on cameras with interchangeable lenses. On the flange, there are several markings to help your lens mount properly into place. Number 14. Memory card. The memory card is another basic camera part that's essential to the whole operation. After all, if you don't have anything to save your images onto, then what's the point of taking pictures? Different cameras require different memory cards based on a variety of reasons. A few of them are the file size your camera shoots, the size of your camera, and whether it's designed for photo or video purposes. In order to send information for your camera to a memory card, you need to use a memory card slot. Built into all digital cameras is a dedicated spot for your memory card to be stored. Depending on the type of camera, the card slots will vary to fit a certain type of card. Whether it be micro SD, SD, or CF cards, every camera and camera brand has its own way of doing things. Number 15. AF and MF switch. On most modern lenses, you'll see a switch labeled AF and MF, which stands for autofocus and manual focus. By moving this switch, you can change which mode your camera uses to focus. In autofocus mode, your camera will automatically pick the focus based on your autofocus point. Manual focus mode, on the other hand, requires you to manually set the focus by turning the focus ring on your lens. Number 16. Focus ring. The focus ring is found near the front of your lens and is what controls your focal point while using manual focus. By turning your focus ring, you can change what parts of your image are in focus. There is also a distance marker located somewhere along the lens to help you identify how far away your focus plane will be. While you are using autofocus, the focus ring becomes inactive since your camera has taken over. Number 17. Zoom ring. On zoom lenses, the zoom ring changes how zoomed in your photos appear. By shifting the physical distance between the glass elements inside the lens barrel, your camera's field of view is changed. Number 18. Baseplate receiver. Found on the bottom of your camera is a 1x4 or 3x8 female thread called the baseplate receiver. This is meant for mounting tripod baseplates so you can attach your camera to a tripod head. By screwing a quick-release plate into this female receiver. Number 19. The diopter. On many cameras, particularly Canon and Nikon, you'll find a small dial beside the viewfinder called the diopter adjustment. Depending on your eyesight, you might have a hard time focusing your vision when looking through a viewfinder. By adjusting the diopter, you can help ensure you see the image clearly. Number 20. User controls. The user controls are all of the buttons found on your camera. With options to change menu settings, camera settings, or shooting modes, these buttons control how your camera operates. Although every model of the camera will have slightly different user controls, they are often in similar locations. Number 21. Camera strap. The camera strap tethers directly to your camera, making it easy to carry around without the fear of dropping it. Typically meant for slinging your camera around your neck, the camera strap is an easy way to keep your camera secure while having it out of your camera bag. Number 22. Auxiliary inputs. Along the side of most digital cameras, opposite to the memory card slot, is an array of auxiliary inputs. Things such as remote trigger input, microphone inputs, or even HDMI options for tethering your camera to a computer. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to our channel for more informational videos related to the media industry. See you in the next video.